to almost a desert. They experimented with the future of the country. They banned, that junta banned the nuns. I don't mean this nuns. We had the nuns. A progressive student movement was banned because it was defending the interests of Nigerian youths. They banned the Nigerian Medical Association, the NARD, National Association of Resident Doctors. Again, these two bodies were defending the right of the Nigerian people to basic health. Of course, Babangida and others staged a palace coup in August 1985 in the Mugwari. And Babangida had been the only military prefect who called himself a president because he was planning to metamorphose into a civilian president. Of course, we didn't allow it to happen. This guy took over power in August. I remember I was in detention. Buhari had arrested me in May. And what was the reason? Because they are jail fellow. They were Fela's lawyer. But there was a global campaign for Fela's release. Because people didn't believe Fela committed the offense. And so I was held vicariously liable for that campaign, which I knew nothing about. It was being coordinated by Fela's manager in London. But at that time, they won't challenge you, they won't ask questions. We just grab you. So I was in detention. So on August 29th, the Babangida team came, led by this guy later became IG Gambo Jimeta. They came to release us. And I asked the team, is this for real? Or you are removing those of us here for others to come in later? Because there's no way a military government will not detain people illegally. And I remember Jimeta, that they said, Mr. Falana, we want you to go home. We know you are likely to come back. And of course, on many occasions, Babangida arrested and detained. Up to the point that when he was leaving in August 1993, he left me in detention. Do you understand? He released me from detention. But when he was leaving, he also left me in detention. So we were released by Sheleko. Did you ever hear of Sheleko? Yes. Okay. Now, today, Babangida and others gathered in Abuja, Obasanjo, Tinubu, Atiku, all of them, to insult the Nigerian people. Babangida decided to package lies in a permanent form into a book. And what the chair of the vision, General Obasanjo, did predict then that this your book is going to attract ugly and bad reviews. But they know themselves. Their election that this guy annulled in 1993. I'm sure you heard about the June 12th election. Yes. The Abiola election, won by Abiola. Yes. This guy denied that Abiola won the election. In fact, he enacted a decree. Anybody who referred to the June 12th election, the result of it was deemed to have committed an offense. In July 1993, we protested against the annulment. And I can tell you here, I have never seen a larger crowd in Nigeria than what we witnessed between July 5 and July 7. So on July 7, they came for 3 of us. The late Ganifa Wemi, the late Bear Corazon, and myself. And we were held liable for the protest. Taken to Abuja, charged with illegal assembly, sabotage of the transition program, and other stupid, frivolous offenses. Of course, in such occasions, the late Chifaweme and I, as lawyers to our colleagues and our own lawyer, we decided to put the junta on trial. We're asking for bail. Oh, we're sure we're not likely to be given bail. But we took advantage because there may be no other hearing. The attempt, dubious attempt by General Ibrahim Babangida to transmute, to turn himself into a civilian president, and that was the basis of our non-election. Of course, our bail was rejected. We were taken to Kuje prison. Now, we asked our lawyer to file an appeal at the High Court. And knowing that we were in the High Court, Babangida quickly got at home his deputy to sign Decree 2, State Security Detention of Persons Decree 2 of 1984. If you were detained under that decree, no court will look at the circumstances surrounding your detention. Your detention was indefinite, and you were kept incognito. So we told our lawyer, the late Dr. Onogorua, go on to stand. So the judge said, Justice Baggy is the current emir of Lafayette. He went as far as the Supreme Court. You know, it's only in Nigeria where you leave the Supreme Court to go and become a practitioner. His lordship told our lawyer, but these guys are detained under Decree 2. If I grant them bail, what I handle a case. We got a judgment in the Court of Appeal, whereby Jennifer Hadiki, you know Jennifer, yes, who was detained under Decree 2, was granted bail by the Court of Appeal. Okay, how can we get it? So we sent the Lagos for the judgment. So the judge admitted us to bail. Babangida refused to release us. But to our utter chagrin, in detention, our young people also was in 1993. 33 years ago. 33. Our comrade here as Johnny, and of course, what's her name? Odumake, you know?
Yes.
And all our young people took over the country. Can you imagine a place like Lagos? Civil disobedience, and nobody was on the street. Can you imagine that on a broad daylight? The whole streets were empty. And so the regime saw that detaining us was an act of foolishness. Because in our absence, the struggle continued and in fact was intensified. Part of that issue is being distorted today by Babangida. But at the end of the day, he's likely to regret writing the book. Because after 93 years, he's now blaming the late Abacha for the annulment of the election. And since Abacha is no longer alive, you know, like our people will say, only a liar will say, my witness is dead. When your witness is no longer around to challenge your claim, that's all. But some of the things he touched there, structural adjustment program. I'm going to speak on that so that you know why we are suffering today. Contrary to the debate promoted by Babangida, he wanted to look popular when he came. And And because under Buhari, there was a debate as to whether Nigeria should take the IMF loan. Buhari had refused. Babangida now pretended I was promoting a debate. And the Nigerian people roundly, unanimously rejected the dangerous poison of the IMF and World Bank. But General Babangida, who was proud to call himself Maradona. You know Maradona? The footballer. A good footballer, eh? But sometimes he will score with his hand. So Babangida scored many goals with his hand. And so the Nigerian named him Maradona. And it was incredible. In fact, he called himself Genius. And that was the kind of thing. So he imposed the IMF inspired structural adjustment program on our country. Before then, the parity dollar to naira was around 1 naira. When we were in school, it was 60 kobo to a dollar. Can you believe that? 60 kobo to a dollar. Today, it's about 1,500 naira to a dollar. So they decided to destroy the country by engaging in devaluation of the currency. Because IMF and World Bank claim that our currency is overvalued. And so they need to devalue the currency. So that was how Babangida for 8 years consistently devalued the currency. And all the regimes that have come since then, because it's the same system they operate. The neo-colonial peripheral capitalist system. They give it different names. This one, I think they call it renewed hope. Obasanjo needs whatever, but it's the same game of sack more workers. They call it retrenchment there. Withdrawal of subsidies from social services. We're still talking of withdrawal of subsidies up to today. Privatization. Sell the common assets of the country to your friends. And up to now, it was just reported last week that Delta Steel, Alaja Steel, built by the government, at the time they sold it, 2 years ago, it was valued at $700 million. It was sold for $30 million by Amcon. So, President Tinubu came, and the first announcement was removal of subsidy. You know, it's like this biblical thing. I think it's the Old Testament or whatever. And my father flogged you with Solomon. Kings. What I'm going to do. No hospitals. What I'm not going to do with scorpions. And that is what President Tinubu has come to. What other capitalists could not venture, he has assured the West, I will do it. And so, apart from the withdrawal of subsidies, apart from devaluing the currency, we are now told that the currency is going to be floated. You don't devalue a currency in an import-oriented economy. You cannot gain. Because everything that comes from abroad, having destroyed your currency, will be more expensive than before. And that is what is going on in our economy. So, you must take interest in the management or mismanagement of the economy of our country. In what I would call political economy. It's not enough to talk about politics. 20 26-27. They are out again. None of those who say they want to replace Tinubu, none of them is talking about the economy. Have you heard any of them talking about the economy? That we are going to change this system for the benefit of the Nigerian people. No, it's about accessing raw power and then promote corruption, abuse of office. None of them condemn human rights abuse. In fact, when you had the EndSARS protest or the End Bad Governance protest, they are afraid to say that they sponsor the protest. So that is the kind of people who are ganging on to replace the mess that Nigerians are going through. The challenge before you, therefore, the challenge before all of us, is to start today. Today, to get organized, to go out there, evangelize. The alternative. Because when President Tinubu says there is no alternative, that is idiotic, that is illiteracy. You can't say there is no alternative to economic agenda. When you say for economists here, you propose the theory and you say ceteris paribus, all things being equal, but they're never equal. So you give room for possibilities. So when a regime says there is no alternative to devaluation of your currency, no alternative to withdrawal of subsidies, no alternative to increase in school fees, no alternative to rising cost of living, no alternative to 27% interest rate officially. I said there's no alternative. Yes, there are alternatives. Like the late Professor Aluko used to say, economics is about alternatives. If you don't want to live, you commit suicide, you die. That's the alternative. So you can't say a program inherited or imposed on you by the IMF and World Bank. You say there is no alternative to it. So our alternatives, we must start from there. And that's why I'm challenging you. You must take more than a personal interest in the economy of our country. How we generate resources. And the area that will interest you. Just one area. You're following the crisis in the north, particularly in the northwest. Zamfara in particular. Are you following development? Yes, Zamfara. Yes. That state produces a lot of gold. And members of the ruling class take their helicopters there and they lift gold. Gold smuggled out of the country yearly. It's not less than $9 billion. You can Google. I've said it publicly, nobody has challenged it. That gold smuggled out of our country is about $9 billion. Now, gas. Because we only talk about petrol. If I ask you, what are we making from gas every year? How many of us follow development? Again, I had to write a letter to the Minister of Finance recently. You have a company called LNG, Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas. Nigeria has 49% shares. These following oil companies have 51% shares. In the last 20 years or thereabout, about $34 billion destined for the Federation account was diverted by the NNPC. And I wrote to the minister, and people are suffering. You say you have no foreign exchange. Why don't you collect this money from NNPC? No answer. They didn't say I was lying. They didn't charge me for giving false information because we provided details. Another one that will interest you. A law was not implemented. Deep Offshore Inland Production Act was made by the military. It was a decree. I discovered that for about 16 years, that law was not implemented, and the country was losing billions of dollars. So I challenged the government. And the government said, yes, you are right. We have lost about $60 billion. Three state governments followed the debate by Esa Rivers and Akwa. They rushed to the Supreme Court, sued the federal government to collect the money. The federal government said, please, we cannot challenge you. Can we have terms of settlement? So they agreed to settle. And the Supreme Court said, go and investigate what is owed and pay the money to the Federation account. The government set up a team of accountants and they came up with a figure of $62 billion. Again, you can Google. And the Attorney General there wrote to the oil company, madam, please, can we have this money paid? A minister, a serving minister, Mr. Silva, Dimpre Silva said, no country can collect such huge sum of money. We can only negotiate. Do you understand me? No negotiation. Money not collected. Approved the sum of $2.1 billion to fund the 2025 budget. He said, yes, sir. Are you aware that in September this year, Neiti, last year, Neiti, you know about Neiti? Yes. That is the National Extractive Transparency Initiative. That is a government agency in charge of the extractive industry. Issued a statement in September last year that oil companies and gas companies are owing the country $6.1 billion and $64 billion. So why don't you collect this money? Why are you approving another loan for the government? You say, sir, we are not aware. You say, no, you can't see. And these two senators were at the press conference when the report was presented. Now, I'm giving some of these figures to all you to let you know that ours is not about material poverty, but poverty of ideas and fraud by those who are running the affairs of our country. Therefore, the challenge before you. And I want to beg you, and I know you are not part of that crowd of young people who will mourn and mourn their faith in the social media. WhatsApp every day. We are cursing ourselves. We are abusing each other. No. What we should be doing with the social media is to mobilize our people and challenge negative narratives and let them know that it is doable to run this country in the interest of the Nigerian people. But we can only do that if we go out there to mobilize. It's not very encouraging because you are going to compete, particularly during election, with those who have stolen sufficient money. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. No, I go around the country because of my practice. And all those people, they say, I've stolen billions. I haven't seen their factory. I don't know whether you have seen factories of the former government. Have you? No. Nowhere. You can't find them. But the bulk of the money stolen is to buy votes. That's true. Can you imagine an unpopular government is attracting legislators almost on a daily basis? Have you noticed that? All those who are jumping are declaring for the ruling party. And you know it's not on principle. They their pockets are lined up. So those are the people you are going to challenge in the political terrain. So yours can only be based on sacrifice and commitment to promote a new democracy in our country. Theirs is based on money and it's ephemeral. That's why they can't last in power. If we are organized, and a people organized, a people united, as they say in Latin America, can never be defeated. A people united can never be defeated. And so, I'm going to challenge all of us. That you are going back to your respective destinations. Please, be agents of change, genuine change that can transform a land of poverty to a land of prosperity. We have enough human and natural resources to make this country one of the leading nations on earth. You need to travel around the world. Nigerians are running many countries. You don't know that. Even all this noise of Mr. Trump, he wanted to expel all Nigerians during his first term. But after his election, he was given a list of some Nigerians manning key institutions like their nuclear centers, major hospitals in the US. He said, oh, so these CETO people, so they go to school, and he was told. Some of those who are driving taxis on the highway have about 2 degrees in their pockets. And today, apart from Chinese, Nigerians are next in terms of the number of graduates in the United States of America. And you can go to many parts of the world, including the United Kingdom. Middle East, our doctors and nurses are running hospitals. So, why can't you warehouse? They say, hey, people can jump up. I think it was one minister in the game who said, we have produced many doctors, let them go out. Some foolish talk. Because our doctors are serving other nations. We're almost the only country today that spends huge sums of money to train doctors and other medical personnel. And we just turn the other eye when they are going. A more patriotic government, in the environment in which we have found ourselves, will have sat down with some of these governments. You can't be having my doctors run your hospitals in the UK without sitting down, without sitting with us to discuss what you should be contributing to our educational system there. The only area they want to make contribution, I don't know whether she will raise aware of it, they want to transfer some of their prisoners. But they have problems with their prisons. They want to transfer some of their prisoners here. So they want to build a special prison here. But we won't allow it. It's against the laws of it. And this is not the first time they are planning that. But that is the way they treat us and treat our country. So I'm going to plead with you to go back to your respective destinations and start serious work. These guys are going to try to harass you because they have no solutions to the problems confronting our country. Because there's no solution, so they are going to charge you. Intimidated. Don't be silenced. Anytime any Nigerian is arrested for exercising his or her fundamental right, freedom of expression, let us know so that we can join issues with the state and get such people released. And let us go out and think, believe everything that injustice to one person is injustice to all persons. So I thank you for this.
Solidarity forever. There is solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall
Thank you, sir. Specifically, I would like you to be more detailed about this cyber campaign. There has been debate over it. So as activists, CSOs have claimed that the cyber campaign are being used by police to hunt journalists, to hunt activists, and to hunt opposition. It has been amended. But as of today, police still use this cyber campaign to prosecute the likes of people Shure and other journalists in the name of cyberbullying, especially against the Inspector General of Police for incident.
My question leads to the issue of voting. You are asking us to continue the fight and the struggle. But we have seen a situation where it now seems the NGO have taken over ideology. I want to know, how did you fund the struggle in your time? So we learn.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Dorothy. So I just want to ask, as we continue to struggle and as we've been doing, when does all this correlate to real political action? Real political action. All of the surviving change seekers, the elders, the younger ones like we are, collaborate to actually take power from these people once and for all. Thank you.
What on Cybercrime Act? I will ask Sowore to make available my position on it. What happened was that we had the Cybercrime Act of 2015, which criminalized even annoyance. If you annoy a big man, you have committed an offense. Defamation, insult. If you insult a big man, you have committed an offense. Cyber stalking. We challenge the law. That's section 24. And the ECOWAS court gave 2 judgments mandating Nigeria to amend the law to respect the rights of Nigerians to express themselves. So, in February last year, the National Assembly amended the law and removed insult, annoyance, defamation, and the rest of them. So what you now have to do under section 24 is any message sent through the computer that contains pornographic materials or false information that is meant to cause a breakdown of law and order. Now, if I write against anybody, it's not pornography. It can't lead to a breakdown of law and order. I've only defamed you, so you go to court. You sue for libel, where you put your own character in this scene. That is the law in Nigeria. When Sowore was charged with treasonable felony, he was also charged with cyber stalking. And at that time, the law said, if you charge somebody with cyber stalking, that means you put him in fear. So we then wrote to them, and Sowore's lawyers, since he said this guy committed cyber stalking, you must have put Buhari in fear. So please, can we have Buhari's statement where he expressed fear that Sowore put him in an anxiety? So I can't see how a general will say that a bloody civilian like Sowore put him in fear. And so that charge was withdrawn and struck out. Sowore is facing another one. But what the court is saying is that the offense was committed when that provision had not been amended. Do you understand me? We also have the recorded a case in Lagos where the judge said, yes, I agree with you, the law has been amended. But at the time this blogger committed the offense, the law was still there. So as today, you cannot arrest anybody or charge anybody with defaming a big man under the Cybercrime Act. If it happens anywhere, please let us know so that the authorities can be taken up.
Wherever society is.
Yeah. So wherever society, of course, you already know that those cases will go nowhere. We say they are as dead as dodo. On struggle during our time, I can tell you, we almost had no business complaining during our time. The system took care of us. Can you believe that? When I was an undergraduate, my first year, we had laundry services. Yes, we had laundries, I think about 4 dresses per week. Yes. 4 students to a chicken. 4. Yes. We were taking, and twice a week, we were taking ice cream. All for 20 kobo, 20 kobo. Our breakfast was 10 kobo, 8 slices of bread, an egg, tea to your satisfaction.
Butter.
Butter, of course, everything. Beverages. There were people who came from the town, particularly on Wednesday and Sunday, when we had jollof rice and chicken, to partake. Before we graduated, employers of labor came to interview us on the final year. During your youth service, more will come. So by the time you are walking out of the camp, when you have finished your youth service, you may have got about 4 or 5 jobs. You would then sit down to look at them. Which one will give me a car loan or a housing loan or both? Do you understand me? I think it was the late girl, Chief Famila was telling me in one of our detention experiences that when he finished, when he left the law school, he went to school, SCOA. It was a motor company. All he needed was to deposit his certificate, call to the bank, and he got a new car, and then arranged to pay monthly. So that was Nigeria of our time. But in spite of that, we believe that we needed to fight for our people. And so we're well organized. We had the 9th National Association of Nigerian Students, which was born on 10th of December 1980. Because of Obasanjo had banned NUNS, National Union of Nigerian Students. But these were vehicles of struggle. Unlike now, that government decides, or the children of the president decide who will be Nan's president, who will be Senate president of now. No. We maintain independence from the government. And the government took Nigerian students very, very serious. So, that was what happened during our time. But you are luckier now. This meeting can be held virtually. So Ore will tell you, sometimes we travel to Kano, Kaduna, or Maiduguri by train. Where the country? At least, if you miss it in Lagos, go to Ibadan or Osogbo or Far, and so on and so forth. With all the risk that was involved. But that was a country. When I served in the Bible. I had a B2, Volkswagen, new car. To fill my tank was 5 naira. Yes. Now, but no, the point I'm making, a gang of people bad country would make some good country. So you can imagine the agony for my generation. But I'm telling you this so that you can be more provoked to demand for your political destiny. It's in your hands. My brother, power is on the streets. Power is on the streets. Abel. It is to get organized to pick it. Do you understand? Now, I can tell you. Go with someone. They have no plan. They are the new hope. Cannot win an election. Because things are getting worse by the day. So what do they want to do? It's not to distribute ideas. Are you with me? It's not to promise anybody. When we're growing up of your generation, we have people who promise us free education, free medical treatment, full employment. Now, there is nothing they are promising the Nigerian people other than renewed hope, which is hopelessness. But what do they want to do? It is to sell votes. I think the last election in Ondo State, I think it was 10,000 naira per vote. They will double it in 2037. But you know, it's a temporary phenomenon. The day Nigerians are organized to take power, other countries are doing it. Even in our neighboring states like Senegal, a 44-year-old guy detained, he came out and decided because the man who had been president was bad. He said, no problem, we are going to vote for this one. It was like a joke. So we can also take control of our country, but you need to get organized. I've said it, it's an Herculean task, but it's not insurmountable. Thank you very much.
Power is on the happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey, hey, kí ló ń ṣe ọ̀bọ yìí? Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Promote now, why you go for an face? Bless you. Bless you. Okay, ni hello. Hey, mo lè para mi. Mo lè kú torí kíní o. Mo lè kú torí ẹ̀. Èmi ni mò ń sọ mo lè kú torí kíní tó bá lọ fún. Why is it Open now, open now. Why is it going to fail? Why is it going to fail? Guys, Nigerian people, you are a leader. You are a leader. You are a leader. Please, we have a presentation of certificates. Please, good picture. Just so you know, this kind of business to do with the home. They are yet to receive our certificates, but if you want certificates to
Please, let's go group pictures.
so please quickly return to the hall.
Go to group picture.
Comrades, we are not done yet. After the pictures, please return back to the hall.
Let's do it batches by batches. Hey, hello. Pè máa yìí kó kúrò ńbẹ̀ wo lélẹ̀. Face. Pè kúrò ńbẹ̀ jọ. La group by group. Ṣó máa mú bẹ́ẹ̀.
This year I will take it, Abi.